Well, thanks, gang, for hanging in there with us. And I'll tell you, it's my great pleasure and honor to introduce you to Will Luera. Will, hello.
Very good.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
Welcome back, I understand.
Yes. I'm very happy to be back.
You were on about 5 years ago, weren't you?
Yes. It was right when I took over the position of artistic director at ImprovBoston.
ImprovBoston. Tell us quickly what ImprovBoston is, so that our friends at BNN Land can follow along with us.
Sure. We're a nonprofit improvisational theater located in Inman Square in Cambridge. We do all different types of comedy, improvisation, sketch comedy, stand-up, short theater work, musical theater work. And it's all based on the concepts of improvisation.
Great. How long has the organization actually been there?
It's actually been around for 24 years now.
Oh, wow.
Next year's our 25th anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and I've been the artistic director for 6 years now.
Now, improv always, gives you that, you get that that understanding or that feeling that it's all off of the cuff and all off of the.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the top of your head.
That's exactly it. That's all it is. It's a lot of people break improvisation down in multiple ways. I mean, people look at it comedically, philosophically. There are people who look at it spiritually. All it really comes down to is being present in the moment and supporting or making everybody around you look good. Okay. And you break it down to that, and you've got yourself an improv show.
Now, somebody, where is it? Inman Square, you said?
Inman Square, right.
If somebody came to a show, what could they expect to see? Is it always a different something going on?
It's always, we have shows right now 6 nights a week.
Wow.
And so we have everything that ranges from a kid-friendly family show on Saturday nights to we actually have a show that runs once a month. That it's a bunch of naked stand-up comedians, and
okay.
that's
when exactly is that day?
Yeah, first Wednesday of every month, and it's and that's their thing, and you won't believe it, but they sell out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess you could believe it. I mean, if it's a bunch of naked stand-up, so they sell out. But I mean, that's kind of the range of comedy that we have going on. So, like for example, tomorrow night, which is our next show, we have a group of Emerson kids that come in and do a show every Tuesday night at 10. So.
Now, do they take suggestions out of the audience, or because I've seen some of these. There's a TV show on, I guess, that does improv and stuff. They just take you yell out a couple of things and off you go, or they start off with a pretty idea of where they want to go with something.
Every show is different. The show that I referred to earlier, the family show,
right.
they'll go to the audience all the time because the kids enjoy that.
Yeah.
They want to be engaged. Our Saturday night main stage show, which is more for adults, we'll go to the audience once at the top, and then we'll just run with it for an hour. And it's all made up. Like, there's absolutely nothing prepared. If you go to 2 shows, they'll be absolutely different from each other.
Great.
The only shows that are somewhat prepared, we have a show running right now that's an improvised Shakespeare play. So that's the only one that has some sense of preparation, because we know that every week there's going to be a king, and we know that there's going to be some of these stock characters. And,
you don't want to mess too much with Shakespeare.
Exactly, right. Yeah, exactly. And especially with this cast, I mean, they all come from a place of just this high level of respect for Shakespeare. And they want to make sure they get it right. And the only difference is that it's improvised. But they're hitting everything, the iambic pentameter, the different plot mechanisms and character twists that you would expect from a Shakespearean play.
Now, you said something interesting, that a group from Emerson was coming in. Do you have a set cast of entertainers or performers, or do you actually draw in people from the different events?
That's actually part of what is special about this theater, is that I try to bring in comedians from everywhere, and I just think it's the space itself. Not to sound too romantic about it, but I feel like everyone that steps into our theater just continues to feed the beast that is that theater.
Great.
So I try to get as many people in there sharing every different form of comedy they can, and it's like they'll perform. We have our green room, which is in the basement, is full of quotes and stuff that people just write in, and it's sort of like, you step in and you know that like people are leaving their presence there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and so I want to come in and...
It's inspirational. Gets
exactly,
you going.
Exactly.
Sure.
And so like everyone who comes in, it's a small space. It's not that big, but people come in and they're like, yeah, there's comedy in
How many
here.
people, how many seats do you have?
We seat 65. The capacity is 10. That 10 usually covers the crew and the performers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty intimate...
It's very intimate. I mean, I like to compare it to you know, it's like a Fenway Park of theaters. I mean, the audience is right on top of you.
That's great.
Yeah.
Do you perform as well as being artistic director? Do you jump out there every now and then?
Every now and then. I actually, for the first time in about 5 years, I have a pretty busy performing schedule coming up this fall. Yeah, I have a few shows that I enjoy that I'm bringing back. I have 2 specific one-man improv shows. One of them is an inspirational speaker that I do. It's a half-hour improvised inspirational, motivational speech, and like I said, it's completely improvised. And the second one is a physics-based improv show. I was a physics major in college, and I found a way to bring both of them together, and so that's going to be running in October.
You'll have to keep your schedule with us, because we'd love to let people know what's going on.
Yeah.
You said something interesting at the beginning. You said there's also a spiritual feelings for some people doing improv. Is it a feeling of accomplishment or being able to try to explain that a little bit for us?
I'll start with the 2 rules that I personally teach by. The first one, it has to do with confidence. When you come in as a student, as a novice performer into our theater, I try to teach you to be confident with your idea. I don't care what it is. I don't care what your brain is telling you to say. I try to just get you to commit to that first idea. A lot of people, especially adults, will filter themselves 3, 4, 5 times before they let any idea out. What we try to do with improvisation is, you know, get past those filters, just throw it out. And part of being able to throw that out is teaching everybody to accept whatever anyone else does. Okay. And part of that is a whole philosophy of, you know, my goal in improvisation is to make you look good. Right, it's not to make me look good, it's not for me to be funny, it's to make you look good. Right. And then out of that sort of sense of trust starts to develop what a lot of people feel can be just a very giving, very loving sort of environment. Sure. And that's where sort of like people will start to move away from the comedic part of it and start to move into a more spiritual aspect. I mean, we've been hired by churches and both Christian and Universalist as well, Unitarian, to come in and run workshops just to kind of teach people, you know what, accept other people's ideas, and it's amazing what you could come up with. Sure. Yeah.
But that's so true that people do filter before they say things. I don't always practice that, but it's often gone in the wrong direction. Right. But that's so true about the human nature. Is, you know, you have a good idea and you got to let it get out there, and if you're working with it, it's going to drive. You mentioned novice. Now, do people come in? Is it an educational atmosphere that you're trying to portray, or like someone comes in as a novice and they have a specific level of participation they have?
We have people who come in who have no intention of performing. Their intention, I mean, people come in who their intention is to meet someone and to date. their intention might be to be more confident in front of people. Okay. Be able to just talk to others. People come in, say out of a standard level 1 class of 12 people, about half of them actually have the intention of becoming a performer. The other half are trying to uncover some aspect of themselves. And, you know, the praise and the thanks that we get by the last level, I mean, it's why I keep doing it, you know. It's what keeps me from, I think, jumping and just focusing on performing. Right. Because it's great to see people transform. I had this one kid, he was about, when he first started, 14 years old, and he came in, every joke out of his mouth was either sexual, about drugs, about alcohol, about beating people up. And that was his world. That's what he lived in. And you know, I later found out that he came from a very, very difficult upbringing, and it was just all that was his frame of reference. And then by the end of level 5, a year later, he was able to. Once I let him get all of that out on stage, but then also teach him to just open up to what other people were saying to him. He became grounded. He sort of turned his academic career around. Ended up going to college in Chicago, and you know, he figured, you know what, I want to keep doing improv. I want to go to school. So he moved to Chicago, which is kind of the mecca of improvisation. And now he's going to college. He's on a scholarship, and he's following improvisation out there.
Great. That's fabulous. Yeah. How many full-time people are actually in improv?
There are currently 3 full-time people. We have 10 part-time people. We have a volunteer staff of about 20 more after that. Altogether, there's about 100 cast and crew that work inside the theater.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Is the goal to get to Dangerfields in New York?
The goal for some performers are. Yeah. And that's all. You know, that's what my theater is. I try to get people to. I fully understand that my theater is a step in a ladder. I don't expect it ever to be what the Second City in Chicago is, or the Improv in New York, or in LA. I expect it to be a place where people come, they learn, and then they move on to their next.
Fine tune their work.
Exactly. Yeah.
With input. Is there input? I mean, is there
There is
critiquing going on?
We have a staff of very skilled directors, including, and I direct the main stage cast, but we have like 5 or 6 other directors as well, and we give them feedback constantly about their acting, about their theater work, about their stage presence, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm proud to say that we've been able to move several people on forward in either their comedic careers or film careers, live theater and television careers.
That's great.
Yeah, so we have people out in Chicago, LA, DC, New York, Nashville, like all that are successful alum that have moved on and started their own.
I probably said this last time you were here. I should come down.
You really should. Yeah. Well, I'll let you know when my shows are.
Yeah,
running.
I'd like to come and see you perform.
Yeah,
is what I'd like to do.
The
I like the inspirational speaker.
Yeah. He's one of my favorite characters. His name is Jeff Steele, and he just. He could say some really crazy but motivational stuff.
I like the idea that your outreach actually brings you to other organizations to come and assist, like you were saying with some of the churches and stuff, where you're actually going to outreach and get to use your craft as far as helping other people get over some humps or, understanding us better.
And that's what it's about. Sure. You actually said it very well, understanding us, understanding each other. I mean, that's... it's fun to perform. It's fun to make people laugh. It's fun to make money off of performing. But the way that you see people change and become a different person through this is part of it's one of the best parts of running a theater.
Well, the best story is the young man that's in college in Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean that tells it all. There's nothing like a little bit of confidence that can help. Not necessarily turn somebody's life around, but that can give somebody. It's like we talk about here all the time. Whenever I get a politician sitting there, I love this guy. I always ask them, about why we're losing some of this artistic stuff for our younger citizens. And because if you don't prime the pump, it's just you don't get water.
Right.
So when you have somebody that comes in that may not want to be a performer or may not, but find themselves saying, well, maybe I could try that. Yeah. That's all the goal. That's the idea.
And that's exactly it. And that's what I wish I could. Whenever I do have a chance to talk to politicians, that's what I try to tell them. My goal isn't to create a world full of improvisers and comedians. No. It's exactly what I'm explaining to you is, help people find themselves and, then move on to be whatever, a doctor, an architect, an engineer, whatever.
Are you supporting a non-profit by gate receipts?
We are supporting through, receipts at the door, all of the classes that we offer, and donations as well.
How is Cambridge? Well, Cambridge should be on top of the list as far as people that support the arts and support, especially small net groups that are attacking a cause. I hope you get some grant and some support from the city a little bit.
Oh, we have. They've been very gracious. They've been very kind to us, and we're very happy that they're going to be giving us a grant to redo our facade.
That's excellent.
And so we're going to be redoing the whole front of the theater.
That might be a Main Street program over there.
I think it is.
It sounds like a job for Main Street. Well, that's fabulous. It's fantastic. What is the address, the exact address?
1253 Cambridge Street.
Okay. Yeah. And you have a website.
ImprovBoston.com.
Couldn't get any easier than that.
Yeah, pretty simple.
Do you have workshops for the younger kids, for the
we offer
not baby, but
like
9, 10.
Yeah, we
5,
offer
6, 7.
We usually offer those in the summer during like the summer camp times. But we also offer them on a per hire basis. So for example, we get a lot of requests throughout the year of people who are having birthday parties and they want to throw in an improv class as part of that. So we do some stuff like that. But during the summers when we have our very intensive program for kids.
How did you get started?
It was a girl.
That's why I started playing music. You're right. It was some girl, some along.
It was. There was a girl back in high school. I wanted to get to meet her, so I auditioned for a play. That put the bug in me. The girl was left behind, and I just followed the theater. I followed the theater bug, and that's what led me here.
Did you end up studying anywhere, or did you just keep trying and plugging?
After I got hired by ImprovBoston, I really started to study with whoever offered any acting classes, any music classes, any improv classes. So I'm continuing to be a student. I think it's important to always take some sort of class.
Yeah.
I mean, even if I've taken cooking classes to help my improv. It's important to kind of just take yourself out of the director, actor, teacher role, and just be a student every now and then.
Well, you can't make cracking an egg funny if you can't crack an egg.
Exactly. Thank you. You're good. You got to come. You got to come by on Sunday nights. Where on Sunday nights the audience could come up and play with us.
No.
Yeah.
You don't want me up
You'll
there.
be getting an email.
Will, thank you very, very much for coming in. It was a pleasure having you back.
Yeah.
Let's try not to be such a stranger and get back together again.
I'll make it happen.
Can you
definitely.
make sure that we know that it's all about Art's your schedule? Maybe we can make sure we put it out there every now and then, let people know what's going on. Let me know when you're performing, because I'd love to come and see you.
I will.
Well,
Definitely.
thank you very, very
Glenn,
much.
thank you.
Say goodnight with me?
Sure.
Hey, gang, thanks an awful lot. Abbreviated tonight, just a shorter show, because it's summertime, and I need a break. But listen, gang, thanks an awful lot for being here with us. Get out there and do something artful for yourself, as I like to say. And also, please, keep in the forefront of your mind, especially in this time of what's going on all around us. Keep in the forefront of your mind our mothers, fathers, sons and daughters, aunts and uncles, and nieces and nephews on foreign soil. Please, keep them in your mind, but do it artfully, okay? We'll see you next time, okay?
Have a good night.
See you later. Good
Take
night.
care.
Thanks.